Hi all, Pankaj here. So in this video we're going to talk about pick list. As you could guess from the name, basically it's a list where you have to pick some values, or you sometimes you call it drop down. As you can see, it's dropping the values. This is basically the example of a pick list. It's a pick list on opportunity object called stage, and these are the various values. Okay, now the pick lists are not ideal for long entries. As you can see, the length is limited, or values that are maybe email ID or something else. For example, pick lists are great for selecting ice cream flavors, not so great for a customer's name or address. Okay, now there are three ways to set the pick list values. First is set individual values when you create the pick list. Okay, this option, basically you just create a pick list and you just add the values that you want to be visible or available in the pick list to select from. Second is use the built-in set of values for the standard pick list fields that come with your Salesforce org. For example, source pick list on the accounts and leads. Basically, you don't create values, you just add new values, or you could delete or deactivate some values because it's built-in, so you are not going to make it or build it. Second is create a global value set. Basically, you create a set of lists in some place in Salesforce. Then whenever you create a pick list, you just select values from that. We're going to discuss global value set, but not in this video, in the next or coming videos. Okay, before we move to our org, let's check one more thing. That's the different types of pick list available in the Salesforce. Okay, after that we will move. Now there are three types of pick list in Salesforce. Like there are standard, custom and custom multi-select. Standard, you could understand, they are built in, comes with the Salesforce. Okay, they sometimes share a standard value set. This point means, suppose there are two pick lists, they could share the same value set. The example is given below. For example, on the lead object, the lead source pick list value are a part of standard value set. The same values are also used on the account object for the account source pick list. Basically, they have the same value set. When you change the value set value from that set in the lead source pick list setting, the change also appears in the account source pick. Basically, if you go to that lead source pick list and change the values or delete some values or rename some values, that change will also reflect in the account source pick list. The custom has two flavors, custom and custom multi-select. With custom, only one value can be selected. With multi-select, you could select more than one values, and each value appear as a value separated by semicolon on the user interface, as you could see here. So these are the various differences, and let's move to our org and see how we create how do we create custom Salesforce, and also check this point also. So let's move to our org. So we are in our org. So before we check the standard pick list, let's create one. Okay, let's create one on, say, account. Okay, let's say we are going to create one on account. Go to the setup. Network might be a little slow, so it's loading. Yeah, it's loaded. Now go to our object manager, and then go to our account, and then go to the fields and relationship and select a new. Okay, this time we are going to let's select single for the first time. We could remove that later on. Okay, as you can see, there are two options, pick list and multi-select, that we talk. Let's select pick list. Okay, and let's select next. Let's name it fruits. Okay, I'm not getting any other thing in my mind to write here. Spelling mistake, my bad. Okay, these are the two options. This is the global pick list that I told you. We have created a global value set somewhere in the Salesforce. We will just fetch that. Okay, for now we are not going to discuss it. This one we are select. Let's say we add apple, orange, kiwi, and maybe one more fruit. That would be, down on the spelling side. Yeah, another word would that be? Apple, orange, kiwi, and let's say banana. Okay, okay, mind my spelling if they are wrong. Okay, now we have fruits. Now this let's discuss this option. Display values alphabetically, not in order. Basically, when we go to our user interface, the value will be displayed alphabetically. That would be apple, then banana, then orange, and then kiwi, something like that. Okay, or use first value as the default. So let's say we select both. and first value would be apple, that would be and restrict picklist value. Basically we are restricting values only to this values, picklist values. We can't set the values from another system or somewhere else. Okay, so that's all from my side, and this, okay, just do next. And yeah, next is done. Okay, let's, these are the profiles. Okay, we don't have any record types here. Yeah, I think we deleted them. The save it. So we have our foods pick list. It's created. Let's check it out. Check it out. Go to the our accounts. Let's create a new one. So new. We'll have the orange one here. Fruits. Where is that fruits? Yeah, here is the fruits. As you can see, apple is coming as a default value that we selected, and they are in alphabetical order. Okay, so we could say apple, or maybe banana, that we could select, or okay. So that's one thing that is clear here. And the other thing, let's let's create a multi-pick list, or maybe convert it to a multi-pick list. We have another points to cover regarding that. Let's cover this as multi-pick list. You know how to create, you could do that. Let's say we move to our fruits. Yeah, and let's rename, change its data label. Edit, yeah, change the field type. Okay, pick list, and we select it to the multi. Changing the selected, okay, no issue. Next, and we have our foods and all that thing. Just next. Okay, review error. What is that error? Visible lines. Multi-threaded are displayed in a scrolling box. You must enter a value. Okay, okay, that would be one. And then save it. Okay, I'm getting on this point. Oh, I haven't seen that. Number of lines should be 3. Basically, it's the number of lines that should be visible. Okay, let's save it. Should be greater than or equal to now. Yeah, it's done. So let's check this out and see the change. Now if we check this out, maybe we need to refresh it once. Let's refresh it once. Yes, now we could check it out. Then we could select multiple values. Okay, okay, where is that fruits thing? Yeah, as you can see, available coming like this. Okay, available, the banana is by default. We could remove it if we want. Let's say we select banana, we select orange. These are the multi. Let's select kiwi. Except apple, let's select everybody, and let's name it testing fruits. Okay, account number CFDC34. Let's render value. Let's save it and see how it looks. They must be semicolon separated as we looked before. So yeah, they are coming as semicolon separated. We have few points to discuss regarding the conversion of multi-pick list to multi-pick list to single pick list, or single pick list to multi-pick list, that we're going to discuss. Now let's check about that fields now that we are talking about, they have common. And let's me create another tab, and let's say go to the fields and relationship, that source thing. Yeah, source or type was one thing. I think it was source. Let's say, yeah, I think it's source. And let's say we go to the leads here. Okay, let's check the leads object. Leads, okay, lead, sorry, it's lead. And we go to the lead, and then we go to our fields and relationship, and there is lead source. Okay, just type source, lead source. I'll not see the value. As you could see, the values are same. Let's make a change somewhere else, and let's see whether the change is visible or not. Let's say we add a value. Okay, let's add a new value. Testing. We could remove it later on, no issue on that. So we added a new value, testing. It's active here, but we haven't added here. Let's refresh it and see if it's available here as well. because they both are linked together, part of the same value set. You could see we have testing on account as well. That is what I was saying, that they are linked together. Okay, if we make any change here, the change will reflect in there as well, because they both are the part of the same value set. So we discussed how to create multi-select picklist and the interlinking between the standard global. We will not be discussing in this video. Let's see some other points regarding picklist. Let's discuss few points before we move further on this. So let's discuss few points in multi and single select picklist. Okay, so multi select picklist have a lower limit on total value. Basically, the total number of values that we could add in multi select picklist has a lower limit. I would be sharing the link on the limit of picklist in the description, so you could check that out. No issue on that. You can convert a custom picklist to a multi select picklist to support multiple values in the field that we just did. Okay, and however, when you convert a multi-select picklist to a picklist field value, the values of that field on existing records get cleared, because when you're converting a multi-select to a picklist, in records there will already be multiple values selected, so that would be an issue. That's why that value get cleared from the records. That's one thing. And other thing is reports referencing multi-select picklist should use contain or contains to collect all the results. That is just a formula to you collect all the results regarding multi-select picklist in the reports. And next is regarding the grouping in reports and dashboard. Multi-select picklist selections are grouped independently. For example, one record has A, B, and C values selected, another record has B and C values, and another record has only C selected. You will get three different groupings. One has A, B, C, one for B, C, and another for only C. That is one thing. And also, only specific functions can reference multi-select picklist in formulas. Basically, there is a limitation of number of formulas that can use on multi-select picklist. There is also I will be sharing a link for all that functions in the description. You could check that. Hope these points are clear to you. Okay, try this, like converting a multi picklist to a single picklist on your own. If you face any issue, you could drop a comment, or you could connect with me over a LinkedIn or drop me a mail. Both are available on my YouTube channel, but I will add all of them in the description as well. So no issue on that. So let's move further ahead. So now these are the few difference or key points that you need to keep in mind when you're selecting between standard picklist, custom, and custom picklist. Now you could add or remove from page layout all three of them. That is no issue, but you could not delete a standard picklist. You could delete the custom that you created, both multi and single. Then set a default value. You could set a default value in each of them. We just saw how to set the default value, where we set the apple as the default value of that fruit picklist. Okay, use a formula for default value. You could also use formulas for setting the picklist for, like you could also use formulas for setting the default values, but that feature is not available for the standard picklist. But with custom and custom multi-select, you could do that and can select multiple values. Standard can't, custom can't, only the multi can. So there's a green tick there. I can add values by apps or API. Basically, I told you about the restricted point, restrict values to all the values that we type. That is what we are referring. That is, we could also add values by other apps or through API. That we are saying, that is what it's saying. So it's green tick for all of them. Then can be restricted. We just restrict the values in the fruit picklist, but we can't do that with the standard. We could do that with the custom, both single and multi. Can be a dependent picklist. Now a dependent picklist we haven't seen yet. We would look into it in the coming video or in the next video. Basically, there is one picklist, as the values of that picklist controls the value of the another picklist. Like what are the values that should be available in that picklist, depending on that controlling picklist, like what the value selected. That is what it is. Okay, so we have discussed these things. What are the next topics that we are going to discuss? It's about editing picklist. Okay, so like these points you could check on your own. Face any issue, let me know in the comments, LinkedIn, or email. You will have all of them on the YouTube channel as well as in the description. Okay, so we discussed this. Okay, you could try that on, and if you face any problem. Now we come to one of the important part about editing a picklist. Now as you can see, this is the account type picklist that I just used as a screenshot here. you can see there are various options. New, we just checked where you could create a new value. Okay, I moved ahead. Okay, so new, we just checked where you could create a new value. Reorder, basically you are just changing the order, like which one should come first, the other one, like this. Okay, and replace is you will replace an existing value. You can replace an existing value with a new value that you create, or one of the existing value, basically in records, like the records that are already created and have these values filled. Okay, for that you could use the replace on those records. The you can replace an existing value with a new value, or one of the existing value, in both case where you are deleting that value, or without deletion. I think it means without deletion. Sorry for this, it's without deletion. Okay, without deletion and on deletion. Or a blank value. Blank value could be replaced only when you are deleting that value. Okay, as you can see that button here, del, that's what we use to delete. Okay, so that's the delete thing. And printable view is basically you see all of your values at once. This is very helpful while you set up a dependent pick list. Dependent we will be discussing next video. Basically you get to see the list of all the active pick lists. Okay, chart colors, basically it customize the appearance of values on charts and reports. That is one thing. Let's look them into all one for once, so that you have a clear idea about all these features. Okay, let's move to our org. So we are in our org. Let's see how do we edit a pick list. Okay, so go to the fields and relationship. Let's go to our fruits pick list. Okay, so we type fruits, and hopefully it's fruits, not fruit. Yeah. So we go to our fruits pick list. Then we could change that. First let's see how what happens when you change a multi pick list to a single pick list, because it's a multi pick list. Let's do edit and change field type, and let's select to be pick list. Okay, and then we select next, and then we save it. Okay, once we are done, so we back here to this one. Let's refresh it. Okay, it's refreshing. So we go to the details, and we could see the value get erased. Okay, we could try to edit it and select a fruit. Okay, we could select apple and anything that could. So this to show you that whenever we convert a multi pick list to a single pick list, all the records having a multi pick list value selected get erased. So that's done. So now let's move back to our editing. Okay, so let's edit this fruits. Okay, fruits, yeah, there. Then we then scroll down, and we have the options. You already saw when I created the testing. That is done. Reorder, let's see. So let's move orange to the top and apple to the bottom, and you could move up and down, play with that. Let's select the default value as, say, kiwi. Okay, let's save it. Yeah, save it. Why not it's getting saved? Yeah, saved. Yeah, so it's done. Let's create a new one and see how it looks like. New, we have done with the reorder. You could see kiwi selected, and the order is apple, banana. Okay, kiwi selected, but I moved orange at the top. Why it's not coming back? There, let's check it again. Okay, now once we go to reorder, should already come that. Why it's the apple is coming up. Let's move this top and apple to the bottom and see again if the change comes. Display values alphabetic, not in the order. Okay, because I selected this one, that's why. So if we remove this, the orange would come at the top. So that's not a big issue. So let's see. Let's refresh first. So we are done with this, and let's go with the new. So with new, it should come that way, kiwi, and the order should be orange and apple at the bottom. So reorder is clear because of that. So once reorder done, is replace, I could see that you could replace it with the new value that you create, or with the older value. Let's replace it with the older value. Say the record, let's create this one record. Okay, this was the record. Now what we selected here. Okay, we selected apples. Let's replace apples. Okay, no issue on that. Let's replace apples. Let me copy the copy. We type apple here, and let's apple replace it with, say, banana, and replace it. So records get replaced. So every record wherever the apple is selected will get replaced. Basically, just go to the background jobs queue, so you could search that as well. But it would have been done by now. Okay, it should have been done by now. Yeah, it's banana. Like what I mean by background jobs is basically you go to your, say, let's go here and search background jobs here. Background jobs. Okay, so here is that job that you just replaced. Yeah, that's here. So you can check the status here of the jobs. Okay, now we move back in food and relationships. Sorry for this. Just back. So we have selected fruits. So that's one, replace done, reorder done, new, and now that one, let's add new value and then delete it. So show you that how that delete is one. What should be the new fruit that I should add? I'm not getting any fruit name. Let's cherry. Let's it be cherry. Okay, save it. Cherry. So I created a new one. That's cherry. Let's rename it to be cherry. Okay. Okay, where's that fruits? Yeah, cherry. Save it. So now it's cherry. So let's delete this one. Okay, now let's delete this one. Delete. Okay, either you replace with orange any value or replace it with a blank value. That up to you. So let's replace it with a blank value. It will go to, okay, it's done. And now let's check. It should come as blank since we replace it with the blank values on deletion. Yeah, you could see it's blank, so you could select the value now. Okay, so that's done. So we are done with, let's scroll down, replace, and printable view is just click printable view, you will see the list. Okay, that's one thing. And then chart colors, there's one thing that you need to keep in. Chart color is usually basically for the colors of this pick list on the charts or the reports. Okay, now if you do that by the lightning, you would not be able to do anything. If you did, it will not work anyhow. This one, neither this one, though it's already assigned, it will not work. Okay, why that? Because it works only in the classic. We will show you how we do that in the classic. First, one thing you could do is you could change the color one by one. Okay, I go here, edit, and then we have that printable view, sorry, assigned color. So the chart color, we could do that. Let's say I arrange this color, then save it, and then will have it. Yeah, it's yellow. That would be available in the reports and chart. By going one by one, you could do that, but you can't assign them colors in a single go. So now let's check it how we do it in a classic, because with lightning we can't do it one go, but with classic we could do that. Just go here and switch to classic. Okay, and we just switch to Salesforce classic. So let's switch, and then we move to setup. Once we move to the setup, yeah, then we go to this fruits. Okay, and now let's do this. Okay, assign fixed color. Let's do it. It will select random, assign random colors. You could see that to all of them. Assign values dynamically. Basically, colors would be selected dynamically. Yeah, that is done. So that could be done only using in Salesforce Classic. So we have discussed all the editing, and also you could deactivate values that I haven't seen. Let's look into it in our Salesforce Lightning. Okay, so the color part is done. Let's move back to our Salesforce Lightning. Yeah, it's too much. Scroll down back. Yeah, so we are back to our Lightning. Let it load. Now let's look into deactivation and deactivation. Delete, we saw that we could delete the pick list from the org, but there's another option is deactivate. Deactivate simply means the pick list will not be in use anymore, but the older records will have that value, like that have that value assigned previously. They will retain that value. So, and it will remain in org. It will not get removed from the org. Basically, we could activate it later on and use it later on. Okay, so let's deactivate. No, before that, let's assign key details, and we move to the details and fruits. We assign it kiwi and save it. Okay, now after this we will deactivate it, and you will see that this value will remain in the record. Okay, deactivate it. So I deactivated it, it's deactivated. Yeah, it's in the inactive list. Now let's see this here, and the kiwi is still here. Let me refresh it and you will see that kiwi is still there. Okay, that part is done. Okay, kiwi, that part is done. Now let's activate it again. That's how you activate it. Now we have done everything, like we have done everything regarding pick list. So that's all done. Let's look into few points to consider regarding all this. So let's look into few points and then wrap up this video. Okay, so let's do that. So let's look regarding active, inactive, and deleted and replaced value. Okay, so active values as an option in Picklist, is an option Picklist. Basically it's saying by activating a values it's remain as an option in Picklist. Inactive values don't, but they are not entirely removed from that we saw. For example, let's take an example of a bakery. Let's say their pumpkin cookies aren't popular in summer, so they set the value to inactive all summer. In fall, customer want pumpkin flavored cookies, so they set the value to active again. That's a simple example to help you understand. But sometimes you really no longer need a value. In that case, you just delete it. Surprisingly, these were not a hits with your customer, so they deleted the value. That's an example. Let's look into some important points to keep in mind. Existing records containing a value when you set it to inactive continue to contain the value that we just saw. You can reactivate inactive values. This makes a good alternative to deleting a value entirely that we just saw. So there is a limit on total combined active and inactive values. So there is a limit, and I would add that link for you. No issue on that. So we are done with this part. Let's look into few another point as well before we wrap this up. Now deleted and replaced value. Important things to know about deleting and replacing. Decide whether to replace the value or leave it blank on deletion. Okay, if you replace it with a blank value, existing records will not display the value anymore. To keep the value on existing record, use deactivate instead of delete. That is one option. So deleting a value in a pick list goes to the background job queues. When the job is complete, your pick list is updated and you are notified by email. I just gave you the demo of that background jobs. Okay, so that is that point. If you replace a parent value in a controlling field, the Picklist dependency on that values list. After replacing the parent, we will create the dependency. We will discuss about controlling fields in the coming videos, but basically it's saying, suppose there is a pick list that have 4 values and another pick list have certain values. Now that 4 values, one of the values controls how many values of the other pick list will be visible depending on which you selected in the controlling one. Now you deleted one of the values, so that dependency will also get deleted. Now when you create new value or after replacing it, basically replacing or deleting it, when you create new value, you need to recreate that dependency again. Okay, that is one point. To replace a value, create the new value first, then click replace to start this. Basically you could replace with the older values, or if you want to replace it with a new value, create that one, or you could replace it blank on deletion. That's all the points. So hope we are clear with all those things. Okay, and if you have any doubt, you could drop a comment, or you could connect with me over email or LinkedIn. So that's all from this video. Thanks for watching.